Hi everyone, this is Angela Copeland and I'm back. The tutorial about LinkedIn and how to use the referrals went over really well, so I wanted to make another tutorial today to talk a little bit about Glassdoor. And if you missed the last tutorial, go back. It's available on YouTube and on a couple of other places, and check it out. I talked about the new referral feature that you can use on LinkedIn when you're applying for a job. But the question I get really often when it comes to applying for a job is, how do I know how much money I should be making? And it's a really good question because you don't want to be underpaid, and it's very possible that that can happen, especially in a corporate job, because many big companies, for good reason, have really wide pay bands. And what I mean is, for one particular role, let's say for a project manager, they may pay anywhere from $50,000 a year to over $100,000 a year. And you want to be sure, kind of based on your experience and how long you've been in the industry, you want to be sure that you're being paid fairly compared to your peers. And so, first of all, it's sometimes hard to know where that is because people don't talk about it. But the good news is the internet actually gives us a lot of this information, and it gives you good information that you can use when you're searching for jobs, because sometimes you have to give up your salary numbers, which is not ideal, but it comes up when you fill out job applications, and it comes up when you talk to HR folks, and it comes up sometimes when you talk to the hiring managers. So the question really becomes, how can you do this research? So you can see I have Google pulled up right now. The place that I want to take you to, though, is Glassdoor. They have a really amazing tool called the Know Your Worth tool. And I'm just going to Google it, Know Your Worth tool, Glassdoor. And it's the very top search result. And otherwise, you can also just go to Glassdoor.com. Now, in order to use Glassdoor, you do have to sign up for an account. The good news is it's free. And in order to use it for free, they make you donate a piece of data. And I know that sounds kind of weird, and what does that mean? Generally speaking, you can donate, I think it's like your salary history or rate your company, or there's a number of different things, but it's anonymous, and that data is what Glassdoor then uses to do things like estimate other salaries for jobs that you might be interested in. So it's kind of like a give and take, so to speak. So anyway, I would go out there, Google the Know Your Worth tool on Glassdoor. It's going to bring you to this screen. It's got kind of like a little, tiny view of what it would look like once you set it up. It's super easy. So I just want to walk you through the process. When you click on the Get Your Estimate button, there's a couple of them, looks like, you're taken to this screen. And I've done this before, but I'm going to clear it out and walk you through how to do it just so you can see it. In a former career, I worked at FedEx, so I'm going to use that as my example. FedEx. And I was based out of Memphis, Tennessee. And so I'm going to put in Memphis, Tennessee here into the Know Your Worth tool. And my job title back then was project manager. And let's just say I had 5 years of experience. I did not, but for the purposes of this demonstration, let's say 5 years. And we're going to hit the next button. Wow, they're getting more and more specific. So which kind of project manager? So project manager, IT project manager, senior project manager, advisory project manager, and senior IT project manager. It looks like they may actually, Glassdoor may be matching these project manager titles up to the titles within the company, because advisory project manager is a role that they do specifically have at FedEx that I haven't seen at tons of other companies. But I'm going to just stick, I think, with project manager for now. Let's just go with a generic one. I'm going to go to the next slide. It's going to ask you your base salary, and it looks like when I initially set this up, I set it up with $65,000 annual base salary. So let's stick with that. I think that's a pretty good estimate. And it looks like you can pick either annual, hourly, or monthly salary. So it's whichever one is easiest for you, stick it in there. And I'm going to pick US dollar. It looks like you can also add in additional compensation. Let's take a look at that. Cash bonus, stock bonus, gosh, tips, all sorts of things. I'm going to leave that out. And then it says optional. I'm willing to share my salary anonymously on Glassdoor to help others. Normally, I would totally check this box, but since this is a made-up scenario, I'm going to leave it open for now. Go to the next screen. So check it out. It asks for some more information about us that helps to kind of determine, how much we're really worth to our future employer. So my highest level of education is an MBA. You want to pick yours. It looks like they have anything from high school diploma all the way up to PhD, so you got a lot of choices there. And you pick your university. I went to Pepperdine University for my MBA. I went to a different school for my undergraduate degree, but I think since this is asking the highest level of education, you should also put the university that you went to for that highest level of education. I'm going to skip the major or concentration just for this purpose. But if, for example, my undergraduate degree, let's say, is computer and systems engineering, and it's a bachelor's degree. So I would pick bachelor's degree here if that were my highest level of education. I would specify my university, and then I would want to go ahead and put in computer engineering or computer and systems engineering. Let's see. Help Glassdoor's research into fair pay. Oh, that's really interesting. So they're asking you again to donate some data. I would totally recommend this. I think this is so helpful to each other when we share this information. I am going to skip it again only because I don't want to provide bad data since this is kind of a demonstration. But you would put in your gender and your birth year. And so this is going to help Glassdoor, look at, if men and women and people of different ages are being paid fairly, which is so exciting. And also you can get them to send you updates when new jobs are available that fit your profile. I'm going to uncheck that because I already get a lot of really awesome emails from Glassdoor, but I would totally keep that if I were you. So you hit the done button, and this is where it takes you to. So you can see it's your personalized salary estimate based on today's job market. It's super interesting. If I were making $65,000, it's showing that my current pay is below my estimated market value. So it's saying that I'm about $11,000 or 14% below what's normal for a project manager at FedEx in Memphis who has 5 years of experience, right? And you can kind of see the graph here too, right? It changes over time by month. You've got July, September, November, from 2017 to 2018. So it's showing you, it's so interesting, it's showing you how the job market is changing over time for your particular job. And you can actually see with project managers here, it's pretty stable, and all of a sudden it looks like right around March or April, it dipped down a little bit. And that's really interesting too, it's good to know. So if you scroll down the page, you can see how you compare in the market, right? They get more specific, like about how they calculated this information. So first of all, it looks like they had about 218 salaries from people in Memphis who have a similar job. And they looked at how many open jobs that there are in Memphis that match our profile of project manager. So wow, it looks like there's over 3,000 open jobs. So they're also looking at not only how much are people being paid, but how much do companies need this skill set? Like how much of a shortage is there for what you do? So, and look at this. Based on today's job market, a project manager in Memphis can make from $61,000 to $106,000 with a median salary of $81,000, okay? So when I said corporations have pay bands that are pretty big, this is what I'm talking about, right? If you are a project manager and you could make anywhere between 61 and 106, you want to make the most that you can. Now, of course, there's way more to the whole thing than money, right? It would be better to make less at a company that really appreciates you, but you don't want to be making $61,000 at a company that pays $91,000, right? So going through this tool will really help you to double check that how much you're making is really fair for your market. So you set this up. This is a great initial look, right? But then what happens, which I think is really great, is that Glassdoor emails you every so often. And I want to show you a sample of what this email looks like. But essentially, it kind of shows you that over time, your market value is going to change. It's either going to go up or down. And this email is a little bit old. It's from last year. But you get the idea, right? They're sending you an email to say your market value is increasing. Come back to our tool, take a look, see where you're at. And then it actually lists some different jobs that you might be interested in your area that potentially pay more. So I just think this Know Your Worth tool is so helpful. I really think that you should check it out and sign up for it because it's free and it provides a lot of great data. So I wanted to give you a little summary quickly. As I mentioned in the beginning, you want to go to Google and use Google to take you to Glassdoor. Specifically, you can go to the Know Your Worth tool within Glassdoor after you sign up for a free account with Glassdoor. And then you sign up for this Know Your Worth tool and you'll start to get these emails every so often that will keep you up to date on what your current market value really is. So anyway, it's been great to chat with you. Please check back again soon. I hope to have another tutorial available very soon. And I hope you enjoy the Know Your Worth tool.